Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kurt, and welcome to a late night, at least recorded late night MindCrack episode on the MindCrack server. As you can see, I have an extended hidey hole down here with a bed, some chests with miscellaneous things I've been collecting, as well as an important chest of very specific things I've been collecting because I actually have something I want to build. It is daytime. The location of the extended hidey hole is just underneath the pillar of where I was going to build my house, but probably changing my mind or something like that. It is now, instead of probable place for Kurt's future home, it is still slightly considering a future home for Kurt. Maybe changing my mind, but maybe not for Kurt. So this is what this location is all about. But the big news, the new news on the MindCrack server is that ooh, skeleton residue. Tasty. Is that we are running, whoopsie daisy, we are running on the snapshots. We have updated for the first time of this server of Season 4 from the full releases. We were previously on 1.6.4, and now we are on 13W41B. These are the 1.7 snapshots. However, although the 1.7 update is indeed a terrain update, we still are not exploring beyond the bounds of this island that we've spawned on until the full release of 1.7, giving Mojang enough time to iron out the kinks and any potential other terrain updates that might be happening between the snapshots and the full release. We wouldn't want to go out exploring and generate a bunch of terrain only to have terrain change again and have multiple seams. So that's what's going on. But most importantly, you might be able to see some differences. The game certainly runs a lot smoother, but some differences as far as the fog distance. There are a lot of new options. I often tend to ignore updates, like telling you guys about updates and the things they change in the game. I just assume because I've seen videos that you guys have all seen those same videos, but I suppose you're gonna notice right away there are new flowers. I believe it was BOO. They spawn with, I suppose I can show you. Whoops, no, I gotta turn this into bone meal actually. They spawn in different biomes. Like that flower, I believe, is only available in the plains. These bright blue ones are available in swamps. I'm actually going to head over to a swamp real quick to show you. But yeah, basically, if you do the old bone meal on the grass trick, like so. Oh, well, I don't know what biome was this. But we got a few different flowers here as opposed to the standard red and white, or red and yellow, excuse me, colorblind. So yeah, we've got Azure Bleu and the Oxeye Daisy are two new flowers. And of course these all can go to making dyes as usual. So that's interesting. Sorry, I didn't mean to, let me mow the grass here. Yeah, that's fine. So we got that, and like I said, those blue... Oh, I was going over to the swamp. Those blue flowers, you can turn into light blue dye. That's one change. But yeah, on the horizon, you may notice... Let me go into the options. We have many more video settings. The distance... I don't know, I think the default is 12 chunks. You can maximize the frame rate. Filtering, anisotropic filtering, and maps. Things that you see in other video games, but have never seen options for in, I almost said Farlands or Bust, but in Minecraft. The game kind of lags out a little bit there. But changing the way textures look at a distance, you can kind of see how the trees way far in the background, the leaves don't appear to be transparent. And I think that's probably for good reason to save on processing. Obviously, leaves in the distance, you're not going to notice all the intricate little see-through parts like you do up close. So I think that saves on rendering and processing. I think right now the server is kind of fighting against. I think the server chunk maximum is 10. Usually, that's the default for a server. Good might have it higher or lower. So regardless of what you have on your video settings, it's going to obviously get maxed out based on what the server properties say. So I think we have some strange loading because of that. We're starting to notice, but we'll be figuring that out. Another thing, a bug that we've noticed since updating is that all the mobs like to do this kind of sideways shimmy, this almost moonwalks sort of thing. And especially the zombies, it's especially funny with the zombies and hostile mobs, because as they're chasing after you, they're like running sideways and backwards, and it's very Michael Jackson-y, which makes it even more terrifying. But yeah, let me go over to a swamp here, and I'll show you the different flowers that spawn. What else is updated? Obviously the terrain, but we're not going to experience that yet. I really haven't looked up too much about the terrain changes, because I do want certain locales to be a surprise to me, but I've had a few spoilers here and there. But yeah, here we are in a swamp, and we'll probably get some of those blue flowers. I don't know what these are technically called. Blue orchids. Very cool looking. But I am most concerned. I said I have plans for building, and I need dark blue wool. And I have noted a few sheep in the general vicinity that sprout dark blue wool, so I've been collecting them. I have a plan. Oh, another thing that they recently added in this latest snapshot is stained glass. Something that was added in the MindCrack, the 2.0 April Fool's version. There we go. Dun 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 dun. Shamon, sheep. Shamon. Everybody's been using that joke, so I just jumped on the bandwagon. What was I saying? Oh yeah, stained glass. It was in the April Fool's MindCrack YouTuber version of the game, and they actually added it. I'm not sure how to do that. I'm assuming you just use stains. That might change my design a little bit. Come on. I request for you to eat so I can get some more wool. That's a light blue sheep. I need the dark blue. The reason I'm doing it this way is because I don't know where to find any lapis, and I really don't feel like caving. Smooth moves, guy. What I should do, I should have made like found a lead to bring some of these guys closer, so I don't have to keep coming out here and waiting for them to respawn their wool. All right, fine. I'll go back to the other guys who were very helpful previously. What else did I want to touch on? Updated the snapshots. Oh, obviously. Zisto had to take down, I mentioned this in the last episode, or one of the previous episodes, he had to take down his wall of maps. Oh, he completed the wall of maps, by the way. I suppose, where did I leave off? I left off trying to map out the rest of the island, but without maps. And that was just tiresome and honestly redundant, because Zisto had already finished mapping with his actual maps the rest of the island, and doing that in 1.6.3 allows for the chunks and the map to be updated so that there aren't mob spawning issues, like witches spawning where there aren't witch huts, or villagers spawning where there isn't a villager. Kind of a reason, and I think what Zisto did probably took care of all of that. I to be honest, I wouldn't mind if something like that happened. I am sick of Enderman. I wouldn't mind something like that happen. It's kind of charming, to be honest. If you remember on the last MindCrack server, why aren't you guys eating? You're hungry. Regrow your wool. On the last MindCrack server, there was a terrain update after we updated. This was actually before I was on the server. And the spawn area turned into... turned into I think it was a forest biome. At first, it turned into a snow biome. So all of a sudden, everything had snow on it. All right, these guys are not regrowing the wool. Slightly problematic, to be honest with you. I hope that's... What are you doing, guy? Yeah, I don't think I don't know if they're. Okay, time to leave. I don't know if there are any actual like blue flowers, or if I have to completely depend on lapis for blue dye. This guy's walking straight, but as soon as I walk past him, yep, it seems they have learned how to use the entire WASD as opposed to just W. Pause and pause. This is his first time playing the game. That happened when we updated to the snapshot. It reset all of our achievements, and a new thing is that it broadcasts achievements to the multiplayer chat. So every time somebody takes inventory or gets wood, it'll or kills a mob or does this or that or the other, or it'll post it to the chat. Just a bit much, and we've been having fun like that. But I was gonna check out the map because I think he set it back up. Pause up. Aw, Jay Sano is always in there. Hey guy, you're just gonna follow me from a mile away, aren't you? Screw you. All right. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, a little bit of lag, I guess. Perhaps all the lag issues have not been solved. Ah, yes, here it is. And looking at it does not cause immense amounts of lag. The map wall is up, and as you can see, I'll try to explain where I was when I was doing my poor, very, very poor job of trying to circumnavigate the island. I'll show you where I was as I choke on my own phlegm. It was... Well, that looks very cool. That's much better. Basically, instead, these are simply maps in item frames. When you put a map in an item frame now, instead of having this huge border as they did before, it actually fills so you can have a seamless map like this. So this is really cool. Basically, spawn is... We need some sort of step ladder or something. Spawn is... Oh, you can notice how... Oh, okay, that helps. I suppose the way they coded it is when you're not looking at it, it actually despawns the map so it doesn't take up. Not too noticeable, but it might be the new video settings for anisotropical for filtering. Of course, he's not going to be able to read that because it still overflows the chat thing. But anyway, yeah, spawn is... You can see, yeah, you can see the blue. That's spawn right there. So we're like on the south tip of this island right here. And I went south. Vintage Beef is... Where is Vintage Beef at? I think he is off this... No. He's off that desert. He's off somewhere the southern tip here. No, that desert right there, I think, is where Vintage Beef's little circle place is. I went down here, and this is the island I was talking about that we circumnavigated. I meant to follow this around and then follow up here, because I wanted to go around the entire island, but I apparently accidentally went around here and through this way and then found myself back up here. So that's what we explored. I started to, honestly, away from the camera, and I had footage I was going to fast forward, but I deleted it because it was pointless. I was starting to zigzag throughout this entire island, but as you can see, Zisto was on the case, and he got the job done, and that's really cool. What was I saying? I was talking about something, and then I got sidetracked. Just your normal Kurt J. Mac episode here on the MindCrack server. Oh, I wanted to mention something. I wanted to clear something up. Along with... it's still a little bit in discussion. We're not sure quite yet, but it's been said before, so I think we're going to stick with it. Oh, Jay Sano, your hospital is kind of dangerous, to be honest. You got a malpractice claim waiting for you, I'm sure. It's been said that along with when 1.7 is released, get a light up job when 1.7 is released that we're also going to be turning off the colloquially known as the UHC mode, where we aren't outside of beacons going to be regenerating health on the server as you normally would in the quote-unquote vanilla game. It's not a mod, it's actually in the vanilla game now. You can turn off health regen. Dinnerbone added that based on the popularity of UHC. So that's been said. I'm 99% sure that's going to happen because it was said before, and some people are for that. I'm going to say right now, the reason it's been discussed and rumored about, I have never said such things as these. I've played along, and I've just been like, haha, yeah, I'm not playing on the server as much because I hate UHC mode. So I kind of played along. I guess I fanned the flames there. But no, that's not the reason why I'm not on the MindCrack server. For those of you who've been with me for a while, I rarely make MindCrack episodes. I get little spurts of inspiration. Spurts? Excuse me? And, ooh, don't look at that guy. And, oh, this is another thing. Sorry, distraction. Sprinting no longer takes a double tap. You can just enable it by tapping control once, your left control. You don't even have to hold it. You can just tap it, and then you know you're sprinting. That's a marvelous addition. Game changer. It's like a whole new game. What was I saying? Oh yeah, that's not the reason. I'm not like... I mean, it makes it difficult, and maybe at first, when we weren't at all suited up, it was quite frustrating to try to cave, and I honestly haven't been caving since. But that's not the reason I don't make many MindCrack episodes. If you've been with me for a while, you know I don't, even from the get-go, I didn't make many MindCrack episodes. It's just I'm not inspired to, or I don't feel my building is very good. So that's not at all the reason. So please, dispel with these rumors. I will tell you, the reason, this is my only series where I play the current version of the game. Oh, I need 3 more. Dang it. Yeah, I need a stack and 35 blue carpet. See, I don't have any lapis to dye this either. I guess we gotta go back to those sheep. What else do I need? I have a list. I have a shopping list. I have the glass box I need. I could, like I said, stain this. I don't think I have anything for which to stain with. No. Let me just take this with, and I guess we can cut down one of those flowers and see. I have noticed this is the only, like I said, series where I'm playing this version of the game with basically the zombie hordes, with or without the UHC mode. And I honestly think, even after we turn it off, it's still going to be very, very frustrating with the zombie hordes, just for the case of trying to get work done and build. Certainly some people cope better than others, but I have played with some friends on other servers where, you know, okay, we need to collect this many of this. You do it throughout the day, but once night falls, it's a combination of the zombie hordes, but also the rule set that says if you stay in one area long enough, it makes it harder, and more zombies and more mobs show up. It just makes things impossible to work with. So, let's scare him. I think he might have noticed. He stopped in the doorway. I'm not here. Oh, it even happens to the players. Uh-oh, I think he's taking aim. Oh, still Jace ammo. What was I saying? Yeah, that's a little frustrating, to be honest. It isn't conducive to getting a lot of work done. Alright, let's try this out. I can go get another one, but let's turn this into light blue dye. And that is not how that works. How do glass stain? Okay, because that didn't work. How do you stain glass? Can I do it yellow? Just destroying the architecture here, or the landscaping. Do you have to, like, surround it? That might be something. Huh. Well, I don't know. Maybe that isn't a feasible thing to do. Sorry for, like, tearing down the landscaping. I made a whole bunch of new flowers over here. I'll replace them. So yeah, I'm more, I think... oh, these are not the flowers that I desired. Well. I think, as far as the difficulty goes, great for, like, a custom map or, like, a super hostile or something like that, but it might have swung too far in the opposite direction as far as difficulty. And to be honest, my personal opinion, this isn't going to change, and there's nothing I can do to change it. Oh, I was coming over here for more of those blue sheep. The most exciting episode of the season. In my opinion, I feel like the things that made the game easier before, or too easier before, were all the enchantments, diamond armor. Remember when diamond armor was, like, indestructible? We played with Brian and well, the KGBs. We played that 2v2 race for wool map, and if you had diamond armor, you were literally invincible. But, like, that stuff, the enchantments certainly gave a one-up to the player versus the mobs. But now the mobs, it's kind of like it's an arms race. The mobs have gotten so hard to kind of match how easy it was when you have all these enchanted armor items and enchanted weapons and things. So I feel like to make the game harder, it might have been fine before, but take away the overpowered enchantments and things like that. Would have been my personal solution. But like I said, that's never going to change. I'm not trying to be negative about it. I do still enjoy the game, and as you can see, we've survived a night without taking so much as a hit of damage. It helps to run through the spawn here, and it's one of the reasons I've decided to kind of build near the spawn. But I suppose I've given you guys enough dilly-dalliance to say what my plans for building are. Oh, I don't know, I keep forgetting. Just click control and you'll just be sprinting and you just have to hold W. It's a dream. It's a dream weaver. Macromedia products since bought by Adobe. Well, I guess he's had enough of the new update. The thing which I wish to build is indeed going to require, you saw many ladders in my chest there. It's going to require heading on up to the build height limit, because I'm going to be making a spacecraft. Although, not a house. Not the International Space Station. Nothing of such grandeur. A much more modest, but somewhat to scale. I'm going to be... I was inspired, you know, last week. You saw a lot, if you follow Farlands or Bust and my tweets and things. The Juno spacecraft did its Earth flyby on its way to Jupiter. And it's also the spacecraft that... Whoops, I'm not going to eat blue wool. The spacecraft I watched launch, and it's kind of really cool. I decided I want to build a sculpture of the Juno spacecraft. I didn't want to do it like above spawn or anything like that. I didn't want it to be an eyesore. I honestly don't know what the new graphic setting is, if it's going to even be visible from the ground, but I feel like building out here, it's outside of a snow biome. I'm slightly worried because after a certain altitude, snow automatically falls on objects, so I'm a little bit worried it's going to get covered in snow, but we can remedy that. So I feel like building Juno Juno in the sky. I've already done so in a creative world. I'm not going to show you because spoilers. But I have a shopping list, like I said, based on that build of all the things I need. These blue carpets are going to be part of the solar panels. You know, I could have made them all out of what are those things called? Daylight sensors, but that's ridiculous. So basically, I needed 64 plus 35 glass blocks, 64 plus 35 blue carpet, because I'm going to have the glass blocks with the blue carpet on top, because that's the only way you could really get carpet to float in midair. Of course, I was thinking maybe I could... Is that how you do it? Do you, like, mix it with the wool? I could dye the glass blue, and it could be a little bit more... it could be a little bit more consistent. I don't know. I need 4 glass planes. 16 quartz stairs, that's the thing. I have some, but I still need some, so I might need to eventually, if I'm unable to depend on the kindness of others, I might need to go grab at the Nether a new, or some of what I can obtain, some quartz stairs, because that's going to make up the body. The body is white. I need a bunch of item frames, little attachments to the side. These scientific instruments I'm going to put in item frames and then put things within the item frames, like weird repeaters and just weird textures and stuff. I need a compass still. I could actually make a compass right now. 2, 3, 4, and 1. I need some hoppers. Hoppers for, like, the satellite dish and stuff. Those look like hoppers. There we go. A compass. Compass gotten. And just a bunch of other random stuff. But I do want to do that up at the world height limit, which is why I have all this dirt and ladders and things. So I think I'm going to start that in the next episode. I want to show you one more thing about the newest update to Minecraft here that's coming in 1.7. If you aren't particularly into the snapshots, you'll have to wait for 1.7. I'm also going to ask the guys if they mind if I build a little spaceship at world height limit. Obviously, you know, it's not going to be in anybody's way, but I don't want, like I said, I don't want to put it above spawn, because it is kind of, you know, it's not like a MindCrack thing. It's the Juno spacecraft. It's my thing. It's something that's a little bit more familiar to my channel and stuff like that. But then I'm also thinking of maybe building something underneath it, like a tracking station with a satellite dish, which might be kind of cool. But that's that all depends, like I said earlier, on my energy level and my what I can actually convince myself to do. Is everybody gone? I could sleep, I guess, but I'm gonna actually go into the Nether, because one of the cool things that has changed is portals can now be flexible. They are made out of rubber. No, they can be any size. They no longer have to be this standard 4x5 size, or the opening 2x3. And we're gonna notice when we go through into the Nether. Whoa, we're gonna fall down a shaft. Here we go. Bam! So now they can be 3 wide, so they center up nicely, which is very nice. So that's very cool. These guys, mostly BOO and Etho, built this Nether hub with that in mind. However, the sound multiplies as well, so keep that in mind when you're building your super gigantic Nether portals. Wow, that was loud. And this is the... I don't know that I've ever... No, I came down here and kind of showed he just had the pads. Surprise! Here's what the Nether hub looks like completed. And we have all the tunnels here. I'm waiting. A lot of people are building tunnels and, you know, bringing them to their bases that they have on this island. I'm waiting until we do reach 1.7 and go exploring further. That feels like a more useful use of another portal, is to travel greater distances, not necessarily 300 blocks to your place on the other side of spawn here on this island. So yeah, this is Beef, and Beef built a tiny diorama replica of his lily pad. So this is down to Beef's place, which is a very cool little tunnel he made. Oh, he put it on ice so you can run faster. Very cool. He opted out of the minecart design. So yeah, cool stuff. See, I get to show you like the beginnings and the end builds of all these massive builds, but I don't have to do any of the work. I just reap the benefits and show you guys in video form here. So very cool stuff here. I do have, I suppose I can tease a little bit. Let me end this episode like I should end all episodes. I could tease a little bit. I do have a secondary idea for something. It would be a major build. It would be not in my character to build what this is, but I don't know. We'll see. I do need an expanse of land, and that might be something that I should wait for after we kind of leave this island. And build something. I'll actually have to wait for that because the materials I'll be needing for that will be these things aren't needed anymore. I think Generic B said so. I can actually use an item frame and the repeater up there. Of course, the repeater. Whoa! Hello. Dang it, repeater. Huh, thank you. Whoa! Okay. Oh, that's new. When you hit the ground, use a puff of smoke, a puff of dirt. Your shoes take damage and particulate outward is what was going on there. No, I don't know. Dang, these Endermen. Endermen are problems. I think we really haven't stuck around or had chunks loaded. With our old server, we didn't run into a problem with too much Enderman griefing. What should I do? I should eat. Like I said, because we didn't stick around in a single place for too long, you only noticed it under spawn in the, in the underground areas, because up top, everybody had kind of already left spawn by the time the update came that added Enderman. But I'm starting to notice around here just general areas of dithered grass, you know, all this stuff. It really is not pleasing to the eye, so I don't know if that's something... Oh god, I'm gonna get shot. Ah, oh, nice mid-air shot, guy. So that is kind of an annoyance, I suppose, that we're noticing. But, my very high-tech security system there. Alright, let's plunk down this stuff that I stole. No, he said we could take those down. The glass I don't need. I got some stuff there, an item frame I could use, and all this dirt. So yeah, we're going to start, pending approval from the space program, making Juno in the next episode. I'm very happy with the design I came up with, and it'll be kind of a cool thing that will just, you know, it'll forever be in the sky. I'm not going to leave ladders up to it to access it. It's just it's a sculpture for visual purposes only. So, indeed, this was a successful MindCrack episode, eh? Thank you so much for watching. Oh, let me mention once again, obviously, in the link below, in the doobly-doo, the video description, there's a link to the MindCrack pre-Minecon party. I mentioned it in an episode of Farlands or Bust, but in case you don't watch Farlands or Bust and are more interested in MindCrack, we are hosting a party. We have taken over an entire bowling alley, a very large and awesome looking place. And this is happening the Friday before Minecon in Orlando. All the details are in the description. Click on that. We have space for like 1,000 people, but at the moment, only about 260 people have purchased tickets. We did have to sell tickets because we have to rent the space and get food and other such sundries, which is not cheap. But yeah, the information's there. Obviously, if you're at Minecon, it could just, if you have friends who aren't necessarily MindCrack fans, it's a party. What else are you gonna do on Friday night before Minecon? Instead of just hang out in your hotel, come on down and enjoy a whole bunch of other YouTubers and of course the 15 Mindcrackers who are going, and all that stuff, and bowling and billiards and all that stuff. So yeah, video description, link there. Check it out, and I hope to see you guys there. My name is Kurt. Thanks so much for watching. I will see you next time.